thanks so much for stopping by my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I painted this lovely small red wine glass with a palm tree design. And this is my design that I've come up with. So if you paint yours a little differently, if you're used to painting palm tree designs, that's fine. There's a variety of palm trees out there, but this is just a design that I came up with a long time ago. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first brown that I'm using in the trunk is Teddy Bear Brown. It's a multi-surface paint. All of my paints are FolkArt enamels. Then I'm using Burnt Umber. And that's also multi-surface paint. The Wicker White is just an enamel. I'm using Warm White as well, and that's a FolkArt enamel. And then the colors in the palm fronds are going to be Thicket, which is multi-surface. Happy Green, which is also multi-surface, and Bright Green, also multi-surface. As I've mentioned in the past in my other videos, I am trying to kind of switch over to the multi-surfaces just so that I'm actually using one type of paint as far as having to have a variety. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. I have cleaned my glass. That's a very important part of glass painting. So make sure that you've washed your glass off, soap and water, dry it. If you want to go over it with rubbing alcohol, you can do that too, just to add more assurance that the glass has been cleaned off. Alright, so for the base of the trunk, I'm going to put my brush into all the different colors that I'm going to be using. And you don't actually have to load them as far as going back and forth like you're trying to get the paint into the brush. I don't actually do that very often. And I am going to start at the base here and just keep going around it. And I'll just occasionally stick my brush back into the mixture and then just keep turning it as I go. Again, very, very simple. This would be a fun pattern to have people over and do a girls' night out at your house. Serve their favorite wines and paint wine glasses. Alright, I'm just going to keep going here. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to do this. It has nothing to do with how difficult or easy it is. It just takes a little bit of time because you're kind of layering as you go. Now, as far as any variations, obviously, if you are someone that would just prefer it to be maybe a couple rounds, that's fine. I like to add the different colors in just to give it some more interest per se, so that they're not all the same. Let's just see how pretty that is. I mean, it's just, again, very easy. If you feel like your brush is getting too full of paint, I just kind of give it a wipe off and then just keep going. Because for some reason I just don't like to have a ton of paint on my brush. But it just, like I said, gives it a fun look. And when you're finishing the stem of the glass too, make that the tree trunk. And then you just kind of wiggle it down and then just keep turning. You are overlapping, so again, keeping in mind that the thicker you apply the paint on, the more durable your glass is going to be. With hand painted glass, it's also, you can do dishwasher cleaning if you place it on the top rack of the dishwasher. However, a lot of glass painters, including myself, feel like you're going to have added durability and not durability, but have your painting last longer, keep the design nice if you hand wash. Never put them in the bottom rack of your dishwasher though. If anybody ever does that, they're loading your dishwasher for you. Say you've had a party and they're putting the dishes in, make sure they always put these glasses at the top, not the bottom. Because I can tell you, you'll pull them out and, whoops, I did that one upside down. They're going to be missing paint. Might even be missing the whole design, who knows. But the paint will definitely be gone. And spots are all over. Also, if you have a commercial grade dishwasher, definitely don't recommend putting the glasses in there if you're using. You know that your dishwasher is performing at a very high heat. That can be a factor too to consider. Oh, whoops, dipped in the wrong one. But like I said, just easy. I'm just kind of easily dipping them into the paint. There's no rhyme or reason. Doesn't have to be identical from one stroke to the next. Again, my brush gets full. I have a tendency to kind of clean it off, wipe off the excess. And just pretty much do it how you're comfortable with it. If you have other ways of doing this, I'd love to hear it down below. If you're someone that has experience with painting palm tree designs. Like I said, I went on vacation one time some years ago and took pictures of different types of palm trees where we were at, and then I never actually used those as reference material in painting my palm trees. So, but I do know that there were a lot of different ones that could be used for point of reference. Just amazing though when you think about nature how many different varieties you can find of some of the plants. There may not just be one variation or one type. There could be a lot of different variations of it. Alright, I'm going to be switching over here shortly to paint the palm fronds. I'm just going to go around it a little bit just to make sure I've got them all pretty much about the same height. Now, as far as the different greens that I've used, you know, you may be saying, oh, that's too many greens. I like to give it some variation. I think it gives it some interest. So if you want to limit it to even one green, that's fine. Or I've even done them before where I've placed white in them. And that's been pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and leave those at that. I'm going to clean my brush out real quick. And then we're going to start the palm fronds. Now you'll notice on, you know, this one, don't really see the lines that I did, but I actually did go through and I'll show you here where I'll make kind of some guidelines. I'm just going to stick it in one of the greens. It doesn't really matter because you don't really see them too much. But these are what I use as my guidelines when I'm doing them, because I kind of like them to crisscross over in most cases. Just give it a more natural appearance, because you know when they're flapping in the wind they're going to be going in different directions and all over the place, if you've ever noticed them. And like I said, I am using 3 different colors of green, so if that's too much for you, then back it off and do whatever shade you want. I just like a variety of shades. So basically I start off by tipping tip in the top, and then I'm just going to go down it like this. Honestly, you probably could start either direction, but I'm actually pulling from the stem of the branch out instead of going like this, because you get a different look. And I don't like that look. I want them to be more pointy for this. And then with all the variations of colors that I have, I would just keep going back in and filling them in. And just kind of, you're doing the same stroke, but that way it gives it kind of a thicker coverage, and I think some interest to have a variety of colors. And like I said, it might not be your cup of tea, and that's fine, but that's what I'm doing with them for this. So again, I'm going to start at the top, and I do a stroke that pulls it down on the first one, and then the rest of them I'm just pulling away from the actual branch. And then just continuing on, and then I can come back and add some more color into it, the different layers as I'm doing. But that's why I say with the branch itself, you're going to be covering it up as you paint over it. You can at the end go back through and add it in. I don't find that to be necessary. I don't really want to mess up my painting by doing that, but I could if I wanted to. I guess you're painting and do whatever you want. Alright. Like I said, it's very easy, very simple. And you just kind of go around and look at it and see if you have any other spots that need to be filled in, even if you didn't actually put a starter branch there, it doesn't matter. Just follow your eyes and see what looks best. And like on this one, I couldn't really see where it started, which is fine, but I'm just doing it like that, imagining that I did see it. And I'll just keep going, rotating a little bit. Bigger strokes, littler strokes, and varying the paint. And I like the fronds, the actual fronds, to go in that direction, like more up, a little bit down. I can curve them a little bit. And I'll just come back in here and just add some interest to it. It just gives it a little bit thicker coverage by doing it this way, and kind of simulates a little movement. That's where I say, like, you're seeing them move into each other. Now this one I might go back over it a little bit because I went kind of crazy with that stroke, but that's okay. Like I said, it's just fun. Fun. Alright, gonna start on this one, and I'm going to do the same thing. I feel like my paint's getting a little heavy, so I'm going to scrape it off, and then just keep going. Going. And again, it's kind of hard to see the actual starter line, but that's okay. Pretty much know where it's at. It's right in here. I'm just kind of doing little strokes. Filling them in. Yeah, some of my strokes are thicker than others, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm not too particular. Alright, so we'll keep going with that. Yeah, it's in the process of baking some glass. That's what you heard my timer go off on my stove. And then I'll allow these to dry. I'm using the FolkArt Paint. If you followed my dotting designs on my beer glasses, I was using the Americanas, which once again, are not my favorite. Those have to dry too long for me. They're too runny. Way too runny. Scrape off some paint here. Continue on. But see how if you got just the one color of paint, I just don't think it's as interesting as if you are placing other colors with it. I think that just gives it a little bit more interest. Maybe even gives it as though you're shading it. But I mean, I'm really not. But maybe not even to that extent. But it definitely makes it look thicker. Thicker. All right. So then I'm going to, see I've got one hidden in there, and I'm just going to keep going here with it. Now, if you're new to my channel, I forgot to say this in the beginning, please make sure before you leave that you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you get notifications whenever I post something new. I'm trying to come up with some new ideas, not just all glass painting, you know, maybe creating some other things with painting or whatnot. If there's something in particular you would like to see, please give me a shout out down in the bottom here so that I know. You know, I'd love to get some ideas from everybody. You know, I try to do research, but sometimes it's kind of hard, and I really like painting on glass, but I'm just not really sure what people want to see. You know, if they want to see painting on glass, or if there's a variation, a different type of glass, other types of items that you'd like to see painted in that medium, I just don't know. So, you know, please give me some help with that if you would. Get a little fancy here. Keep this moving. I mean, it's definitely supposed to be shorter ones, but see, you know, I think it just gives it so much coverage when you delve into a different color. It's definitely not thin. Alright, we only have a few left to do. Like I said, I know that there's one under here because I can see it. And so even by going over the top of the other ones, you're creating a thicker paint coverage. And that's good for it too. But you can see I keep collecting, by doing this I'm collecting a lot of paint on my brush. And it's okay to have some openings in here that don't have the palm fronds on. It doesn't all have to be covered by palm fronds. So if you want to do a lesser amount, that's fine too. Like I said, it's really up to you. I just like to do the videos, make them simple enough where people can do them and then add their own little twist to it. So if you have a variation, that's awesome. Why don't you head over to one of my pages and show me the results. Love to see them. And I do have my pages listed below. Alright, we're just going to keep this moving here. Hopefully I'm keeping you on camera. The video camera had some issues last week, so I didn't know if I was going to have to get a new camera or what, but the last couple of videos have been okay, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. I mean, I eventually like to get a new one, but not right at the moment. I just had to get a new printer just because my other one decided to stop working, which probably was a good thing because I really needed a new one. It was driving me crazy. Okay. Keep wiping off all this paint that I'm getting on here. Get down to the base here. Cover that up. Again, very pretty. I like these. I like the coverage. Got one more to do here. And we'll just go out here. I mean, you can actually start by pulling the top away from the branch if you want to do that instead. I just started with pulling it down, but it can go either way. Actually, I did a bedroom that I made into my office at my old house with different palm fronds all over the walls. It's pretty. So I was really into decorative painting. Actually, that's my love. Love the glass painting too, but I really like the painting on the walls, doing murals. Alright, so I'm going to stop it here. I think I've got some good coverage here going on, and I think this will be a very, very pretty set. Again, once you're done, you know, to this point, if you want to just kind of take a step back and see if you need to add something, you know, that's up to you. But I think really at this point they're very pretty. I could see this being a gift set. You know, cheers. Drink your favorite wine out of this. Love them. So let me know down below if you like this video. Give me a big thumbs up. Let me know what you liked about the video, if you like this design. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and please hit the share button underneath this video and share this with all your friends and family. I would love for you to help me spread the word about my channel and help me grow it at the same time. And until the next video, I appreciate you. Thanks so much for stopping by. Have a good one.